Associates! This video summarizes your first assignment of the semester, which is an analysis essay on your industry or field. Knowing the history and outlook of your prospective industry or field is really crucial in career planning. So, for this assignment, you're going to research, analyze, write, and design a short essay document that expresses the history, trends, and trajectory of your career, field, or industry. Let's get started! So there are a few key tasks that we're asking you to complete for this assignment. First, you need to identify and outline the chain of positions for your career and your field. For example, what titles do entry-level recent graduates tend to have in your field? Then, what would be your next title and sort of next promotion after working for a year or two? And lastly, what is that top-level type of title and position that you're going to be looking at? For this assignment, you need to find 3 titles. One for entry-level, one for mid-level, and one for senior positions. If you are undeclared or unsure what your career is going to be, no problem whatsoever. Use this assignment to explore something that you're interested in, so you'll have a little bit better idea of what that type of career entails and if you want to pivot to something else. So the next task, after you've identified those 3 titles, again, entry, mid, and senior, for each of the titles, you're going to answer the 5 core questions outlined on the assignment memo. Right? We want you to research and answer: what are the current job numbers for your industry, generally? What is the future job outlook, such as what regions and areas are going to provide the strongest and weakest outlooks? If there's a place that you really want to move to, let's say you really want to move to the Midwest, what are the job outlooks like in that area? What if you really want to stay in Fort Collins? What are the job numbers looking like for that? So think about where the most opportunity is and where the least opportunity is to help in your analysis. Third, what skills and requirements are most connected to this title or industry? So when you're looking at the positions and titles, what are some of the skills that you're going to need to accrue to be able to move to that mid and that senior level position? What is the average salary for this title? And what is the average starting salary? So keep in mind that just the average salary doesn't mean that that's what you're going to get when you first are hired. So think about both. What is sort of the average you might work up to by the end of your tenure with that title? And what kind of numbers might you expect, especially in the given region or area that you want to live? And then lastly, why are you interested in or feel like you're well suited for this industry and this title? That final question refers to your essay more as a whole and as a reflection question. So after you've done all this research, especially for each position, then think about, why do you feel interested or drawn to, or that you're well suited for this industry and career field that you're going to be going into? The last task will be citing your sources, of course. So when you are answering the questions, you need to go to places to find credible, real information. Don't just guess what you think the salary might be or what you think the job outlook is. I want you to really actually take the time, look it up, and you need to cite your sources. Right? You might want to use sites like Glassdoor can be really good. LinkedIn can provide some data. The Career Center and CSU might help you out. Handshake. Indeed, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I mean, really go into some of these sites and find really the concrete information so you have a really clear idea of what you're getting into. As far as my expectations for this assignment, this is a warm-up exercise, right? It's the first thing of the semester, so the stakes are fairly low. I just want you to practice and kind of get back into the groove of writing and researching. And this assignment provides the opportunity for me to kind of understand the baseline for you as individual writers and as our class as a whole, and what strengths, weaknesses, and places that maybe we need to focus on in the next few weeks before we get into the more intense assignments. Your document should be 1 to 2 pages double spaced. Do not include a header, especially a header that's taking up a half a page. If you want to, you can put a title page for your name. However, since you will be submitting this digitally through Canvas, you do not and should not and will not take up a quarter of your page with a header for your name, date, and course period. It's unnecessary. I also expect you to have good topic sentences, clear organization, strong transitions, all the elements of solid writing. Again, I'm using this as a bit of a baseline, but being upper division, writing students, I do have a clear expectation of full sentences, strong paragraphs, coherent organization. I also want to see what kind of design principles you might have, so just make sure that your document is readable, cohesive, and makes sense. For the research expectation, I will be looking for, credible, appropriate, relevant sources. Now, the required minimum elements for this assignment, there's only 2 of them. The first is that you need to have fully formed paragraphs. So I'm not looking for just bullet points and sentence fragments. You need to write an essay. And secondly, you need to have cited at least 2 sources. To complete the task in this assignment, you will be practicing and using 3 core communication skills. First, you're going to be practicing constructing and organizing an essay. Second, you will be editing at the micro, which are the sentences, things like proofreading and sentence construction, and the macro level, so your larger document design. Is it clear? Does it make sense? Are there huge errors that hurt the effectiveness of your writing? And lastly, you will be practicing synthesizing information and critical thinking. So you'll be taking a lot of information and you need to break it down into meaningful ways and really understand the state, trajectory, trends, and history of your career field. By the end of this assignment, you should have very realistic expectations of your career and your field, and you will have a nice warm-up in your writing and researching to set the tone and get ready for the rest of the semester. This assignment will also serve as a launching point for your final industry white paper at the end of the semester. I encourage you to watch that video and read the memo for the final report now, just to give you some perspective on the semester and help you plan your work. Now, the core things that I will be assessing in your document are the organization, the sentence construction. I'll be looking at your grammar to see where we need to go for that. The biggest issues would be if your topics are lacking organization and jumping around a lot, which is going to make it difficult for the reader to follow, as well as if there's a lot of editing errors all over the place. To the grading overview video for a refresher on my comprehensive grading strategy and what my expectations generally are for every assignment. And lastly, from the Made to Stick formula, review that video if you need a refresher. Make sure to get at least these 3 elements of success. You need to be simple, find the core, concrete, give the real details, and credible, use your sources, and writing effectively. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in class. Bye, associates.